When I'm not busy releasing what I am quite confident is one of the top 5 COVID-themed Celtic fantasy albums of the year. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it.
That must be a really, really hard category.
Listen.
To be top 5 in.
The market's saturated.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the inspiration from your lyrics? So if you didn't know, by our merch that we're wearing, the Emeryld Ryders is our band that we release music under sometimes, right? It's Celtic. Andrea, what does that mean to you? It
sounds like Ireland.
It just means that we both look good in green, so we kind of call ourselves in a Celtic band. Is it Celtic? I don't know. That's for people to decide. I think there's a Celtic influence for sure, but I think it's just good. We just try to make good music, right? Mm-hmm. So we just released the second album, In Sickness and in Health. Okay, so this is COVID themed, right? But it's written with the backstory of this Celtic fantasy type thing. But here's the thing, it's like the songs are actually very serious, except for maybe the first one.
Except for It Takes Two to Ride, It Takes Two to Know What's Inside.
Right.
Make your saddlebags light.
So when it comes to like where did the inspiration for my lyrics come from? It just comes from everything that's happened in like the last year plus, right? Tied in the Seam, which is the song I just posted the other day, is actually about the insurrection at the Capitol, right?
Wow.
Yeah, there's a song called Watchmaker that's about like the death of my grandmother this year. Like all like In Sickness and in Health is kind of like just like the overall, I don't know, just the vibe of COVID and how it's like weird when people are like sick and you know you kind of feel powerless to do anything about it. But it's all in the Ryder lore, I suppose.
Precisely.
Sometimes we've drawn inspiration from other things.
Like
this
$20, the best $20 Sean ever spent on the treasury of Irish fairy and folktales.
So there's one song called The Dance of Eternity in there that Katie sings on. And we've got actually some gang back vocals and stuff too, which is pretty cool. That's legit just a story taken from this Irish folklore thing.
Sean gave this to me and he goes, find a story. And I go, okay. We're going to start like reading off this story. I forgot which page it was.
A lot of poems about fairies.
There's a lot of fairy.
I would say there's like 90% fairy content.
But I mean that makes sense because this is Irish fairy and folk tales.
I
kind of forgot about that part.
Yeah, so it's not false advertising. I just I'm not super into fairies.
I'm into fairies. But not that many stories. Like, come on.
It's like right. There's only so much in the fairy. Anyways, whatever. So we've taken inspiration everywhere. The one joke song on there is It Takes Two to Ride.
That started, the story behind that is Sean, like, maybe 5 months ago, he goes, it takes two to ride, it takes two to know what's inside. And me being the smart person that I am, I wrote it down in our notes because it was a writing session, and all writing session content needs to be written down because eventually it can turn into something. And that's exactly what happened this time.
You're great at that. I've probably forgotten way more songs than I've ever written.
Literally, whenever it's a song title or something, I'm always like, Sean, I'm going to write it down.
It Takes Two to Ride is pretty great.
I know, and then it became a whole
I'm so excited about It Takes Two to Ride. Like, yeah, Takes Two to Ride, Takes Two to Know What's Inside. That's kind of lame, but it's a bop. It's such a bop. I love that song.
It's such a bop. You should understand. It's the first song on the album, guys. So if you're going to listen to at least one, you might as well do that one.
Where can I listen to it? This is a funny question that we get a lot.
It's so embarrassing. Do you think we're not real musicians?
I know, right? Like where? Oh, well, I'll just be like playing it from a boombox outside my house, like anywhere. Listen to it at Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, whatever.
Deezer.
Deezer. Sure, Tidal. It's on everything. So yeah, just type in Emeryld Ryders and it's there. I'll be probably releasing music videos on the channel and on her channel, so check that out. But yeah, you can pretty much listen to it wherever you want. Top 5. All right, so our top 5 favorite song. Well, first, what's your favorite song on the album?
Oh my gosh, this is so difficult. I really like In Sickness.
In Sickness, yeah.
I really like Polestar. I really like Wildfire.
All right, so these are your...
Obviously the ones
she sings on like 3 of them, right? Yeah. I sing on the majority of them. Katie sings on 1. A lot of them are instrumentals. Pasha, violin player, greatest musician I've probably ever met. He's very instrumental on this album. Instrumentals are a big part of the Ryders because the instrumentals are where the Ryders, according to Ryder lore, there's a whole backstory that goes behind this. Maybe we'll talk about the backstory on like on a live stream or something, because it's a robust backstory.
It's very detailed.
I feel, but the instrumentals are the riding from one chapter to another. Essentially, it's a big part of the Ryders. We ride on horses or whatever, you know.
Which is why there's not really instrumentals back to back, because
Right.
obviously we have to do things between the rides.
Yes. So what's your top 5?
I don't know, because now
Okay,
we
all right.
named the instrumentals so weirdly that I forget which one's which.
To me, I love the instrumentals, but the ones with lyrics are always gonna be my top ones.
The Piano Rider though one
Piano Rider's
is
pretty
really
good,
good. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so in no particular, my favorite, I feel like In Sickness has actually grown on me to be my
And Sickness
favorite
is so good. Like
Yeah.
everything about, if you read the lyrics, you should, because Sean wrote an absolute masterpiece, as he always
Oh,
does.
stop it,
and it
stop
needs
it.
to be more appreciated.
Whatever.
I will hype you up.
So that's probably my number 1. Polestar sounds so good with you singing it.
I vibe.
I love Polestar. I think Watchmaker,
Oh, that one's really good.
musically, I guess that holds a special place in my heart, I suppose. Tied in the Seam, I think is
Tied in the Seam is simple but good.
yeah, and gosh,
What even is on the list? I don't even remember.
Wildfire or Rooted would be my 5th.
Wildfire.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Rooted actually. Rooted's great.
Oh, because number one. It's
Yeah.
from Riders
Uh-huh.
1.
Yeah, you sound great on Rooted. So those are my top 5.
I would say Wildfire somewhere. In Sickness and in Health, Wildfire, Polestar. What is else that's on here? Oh my gosh, I'm
Takes
trying
Two to Ride.
I mean, I'll put that in my top 5 just for you, to appease you, Sean.
It's so good.
I also agree with Watchmaker. I really like
Takes two
Watchmaker.
to ride. It
It
takes two
to know what's inside.
Get your saddlebags light, 'cause tonight is the night. The midnight moon lights up the way. So it's so good.
I thought we were doing different
So funny.
parts.
Ah,
It was
whatever.
like different. I was like,
Yeah.
oops.
You let us know your time. I think I'll probably do a giveaway. Ernie Ball said I could do a giveaway with some of their stuff. So
Oh, really?
listen to it because it's going to be part of what's going on. Stay tuned.
I have a
What's the
question for
screenshot?
you. This
Yeah.
actually might be hard on the spot. What's your favorite lyric?
My favorite lyric?
Yes.
It's impossible to pick a lyric from the last half of a song without going through all the lyrics of a song.
That's so true.
You ever try that? It's so difficult.
It's like starting a song in the middle, you can't do it.
Yeah,
I can look it up for you.
Nah, I got it. All right, this is from Tied in the Seam. This is about essentially the corruption of power,
Yeah.
right? So you have these people who start out whose intentions were known to be good, turned bitter by age, and wisdom once thought to be sage is a rigid rule book, lettered ink hand to crook, nearing the volume's last page. I think that's pretty good. That's poetic.
No, but even the bird thing.
Yeah. Oh, that
Is
that part
disguised
too.
to bird.
Yeah, the truth to these words is disguised to birds. Yeah,
You will know by the end.
by the ease of my flight,
Ease of my flight.
or you will count as a star, just seeing far in the night. That album cover though, wonder what creative mind came up with that one.
We're gonna hype up Katie. Is that the time?
So Katie, very famous writer on this channel,
Yes.
did the album cover, and if you zoom in on the Emeryld, you can barely make out the number 2.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how she made it. It looks
Ryders
so much
2.
better than Riders
How did she
1.
just draw this? Yeah,
I don't
'cause,
understand.
Listen, I made the Riders 1 cover.
Oh, we
yeah,
can
and then she
excel.
just drew this. She just drew it on the iPad. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. Yeah.
So
Shout
good
out
thing
to
we
Katie.
have her around.
Yeah, and she'll do commissions. So if you need something drawn, hit her up because she can do anything.
Oh, really? I might have to ask her.
Meaningless philosophizing of a juvenile musician who lacks even the elementary knowledge of playing guitar and then tries to camouflage his ignorance with forced humor. Humor, it will be, however, that this is only about ignorance and primitivism.
That's pretty good.
Juvenile music. Could a juvenile musician make a COVID-inspired Celtic fantasy album? I don't know.
15 songs long. I don't think so.
let the people decide.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, that's Salty Blues comment of the week. Listening homework this week. Guess what it's gonna be?
The Emeryld Ryders.
Emeryld Ryders 2 in Sickness and in Health.
Listen to at least It Takes Two to Ride. That's all we ask.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. It'd be cool. I guess it'd be cool to get streaming numbers.
Yeah, I know, guys. We need to hype.
I did
Sean
spend
up
all
more.
COVID working on this.
I know. Me and Sean just
Yeah,
mixing
really
and
went through it,
mixing.
Yeah, so I think now that this is done, we might spend some time on Andrea and Sean.
I know. The last song we released was like a month ago. Buried Andrea and Sean. If you wanted to listen to it.
Yeah, but let us know. Let me know what you want to see more of. If you want to see me ditch her or whatever, you know.
They need more from me. What are you talking about?
yeah,
I'm
if-
gonna
if-
ditch you on my
If
channel.
you thirst for more Andrea, let me know in the comments.
Or go subscribe to me, or both.
Or just let me know. All right, we ride.
We ride. Go listen to Riders.